There you go. So you're very, very welcome this Wednesday evening. This Wednesday, I thought what we would do is we would do a touch-in with how we are. Really, usually what I love to do at the end of the day and indeed midweek is just noticing any residual energy that might be lingering on from all of the different activities throughout the day and see if I can really get a sense of taking care of what meeting whatever's here with an open, what John Kabat-Zinn calls an open-hearted, non-reactive attending to. So I thought what we would do is we would do this through a practice of soften, soothe, and allow, which is the base of our compassion training. It's like kind of like the settling, grounding, resting of the compassion training. And I thought that we would do this with a real strong focus on seeing if we can meet all those different parts of us, maybe sensations or things that might be residing in our heart or in our mind that might feel a bit edgy or spiky, with a sense of, yeah, of tender-hearted care. Okay, so we can begin. Now I'm aware too that my bell doesn't always articulate itself over the Zoom airways, so I'm just going to use my voice with a little ding to begin the practice. So maybe just beginning with taking a moment to finding a comfortable position. You might like to have a little wiggle in the seat, maybe rolling the shoulders. And I'm going to invite you just to generate, if you feel comfortable doing so, generating a little bit of heat with the hands through rubbing them together as fast as you can. And again, if this feels okay. And once you've generated a little bit of heat, just laying your hands on your face like a soothing, warm washcloth. Maybe taking a deep breath. And if you'd like to, just gentle tapping around the eyes. The cheeks, the jaw, down the neck. And if it feels okay, maybe making little fists and just a gentle shoulder tap. When you're ready, just coming to stillness. And again, taking another deep breath. And maybe just seeing if we can move towards letting go of anything that's lingering from the day, from maybe what you were doing before logging on. Conversations. And maybe with each deep breath, just seeing if we can arrive a little bit more. Tuning into any sensations that you can feel in the body. Maybe it's the feet on the ground. The hands in the lap. And seeing if we can welcome whatever's here with this sense of open-hearted, non-reactive, attending to. So meeting ourselves with a sense of tenderness and care, just as we are. And maybe setting an intention for this practice to really cultivate this sense of kindness and care and maybe even self-compassion towards ourselves, towards our moment-to-moment experience as we practice together. And briefly touching in with our motivation or why this might be important. What's brought us here this evening? Can be helpful just to consider any benefits that we might have experienced through the practice. Benefits in our own life, but also for all those around us. And then allowing intention and motivation just to rest as we turn towards the flow of breath through the body. And if it's comfortable, just inviting the breath to deepen and lengthen without forcing anything. Simply finding our own personal soothing rhythm of breath. A rhythm that softens the body, soothes the body, and maybe even creates a bit of space in the chest. Our awareness, space for whatever is here just to be, just as it is. And if the mind is feeling distracted this evening, we might bring in a count, second support, to help the mind settle. Resting our attention on this deepened breath, and a count. 3 or 4 or 5 on the in-breath and matching it on the out. Just spending a few moments resting our attention on the felt sense of this deepened breath and the count. And the mind will still be pulled, it'll still be caught up in all sorts of different happenings, conversations, maybe even a sense of trying to get it right. That's okay. It's no big deal. Just when we're noticing this happening, seeing if we can bring in a bit of kindness and gentleness and coming back to the deepened breath and the count. And then when it feels okay, when we feel ready, you might like to drop the count and just turning the attention to the out breath. Really noticing how you don't need to make anything happen. The out breath just has a real sense of releasing each exhalation. Noticing all the ways that the body releases with each out breath. So staying connected to the felt sense, or what it feels like from the inside out as we exhale. Maybe noticing any sense of the shoulders dropping, maybe a sense of the body relaxing a little bit more, each out breath. Or maybe even a sense of softening. Noticing any softening with each exhalation. And then seeing if the mind can release as well. Again, letting go of any thoughts or thinking, and inviting the mind just to drop down into the body, seeing if we can bring this sense of softness, maybe even an opening to what's here. Seeing if we can bring that open-hearted, non-reactive attending to whatever is arising in the body, just as it is. So it's like we're turning towards the body with a kind awareness, a soft awareness, maybe even saying the words silently: soften, soften. Meeting anything subtle, maybe itches or a twitching muscle, a numbness, a sense of kindness and care, softness, softening around the edges with the out breath. Or maybe there's something a little bit stronger, maybe an ache, a tension. And we may like to soften with the out breath. You might like to even place a gentle hand on any part of the body that needs to be soothed, just like we did. We laid our hands on our face, seeing if we can lay our hands on any parts of us that need a kind touch, softening and soothing. Through a tender touch. And really with a sense of allowing whatever's here just to be. There's no need for anything to be any different than it is. So again, meeting whatever we can feel in the body with this open-hearted, non-reactive attending to what we need. And then broadening our awareness out a bit. So we're still sensing the body, but also noticing now all the things that are happening around and within. Sounds in the room. Maybe a sense of the screen in front of you. Smells. Sounds outside of the room, maybe the wind against the window. Radiator kicking in, or maybe nothing at all. And seeing if we can come to rest in this space. Resting in this space with all that's happening around and within this alive, breathing body. And when we notice our mind moving off from any sense of resting, moving into our thinking world, maybe a sense of anticipation of what we're going to do after this session or something that's happened during the day, we can bring in a support. A support of the breath, the breathing body, maybe it's a support of sounds, to remind us to come back to this space of resting. Again, noticing if the mind is being pulled, if there's a strong sensation in the body, pulling the mind off into thinking or analyzing, or maybe there's some happening from the day that you're trying to figure out, whatever it might be that's pulling the mind. We might bring this quality of attending to, this open-hearted attending to, through the softening around the edges, even with the word, saying the word silently, soften. Allowing the breath to soothe, so that we might allow whatever's here just to be, without any need to change anything at all. Softening, soothing, and allowing whatever's here just as it is. Even if there's a resistance, can we allow that too? And we soften around the edges, soothing any sense of resistance and allowing it just as it is. Seeing if we can meet ourselves with a tenderness and a kindness and a care. And as we're coming towards the end of the practice, maybe just giving up any sense of doing anything at all. So, not even trying to meditate, just resting on this seat, supported by this earth. And touching in with any benefits that you might have experienced from sitting together. Moving towards this real meeting ourselves with open-hearted tenderness and care. If there have been any benefit, making a wish for these benefits to grow and flower in our heart. So we might share them with all those who we meet as we move about the world. And indeed, so that we might send them out even further in ever widening circles. Ding, ding, ding. So you might like to stretch. Again, another way we can bring this quality of open-hearted, non-reactive attending to, noticing what the body needs and moving